while we're talking about all this stuff with the most accessible president in the history of America, no president's been more accessible. Let me give you the antonym of what accessible is.
Great word, Pat.
There's a guy named Joe Biden.
Oh, yeah.
So Joe Biden's wife, Jill, comes out and says she was worried when he did the debate with the president, and she said she thought he was drugged. And she said this in an interview. Rob, which clip do you have, by the way? Both of them?
I have this. This is the clip where she says that she was concerned during the debate, and then I have one about him and his cognitive decline.
Go for it. Go for it.
Were you horrified as you saw it unfold?
I wasn't horrified. I was frightened because I had never, ever
What's the difference?
seen Joe like that.
What's the difference between the horrified and frightened?
Excuse me, with
Horrified is you saw a car accident. Frightened is a pit bull's in front of you.
Look,
What is the difference? They're both scary.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
we finally beat
Look at the
Medicare.
president.
Thank you, President Biden.
Before or since? Never.
Or since?
Yes. Or
You've
since.
never seen him like
Never.
that?
No.
What happened?
I don't know what happened. I mean, as I watched it, I thought, oh my God, he's having a stroke. And it scared me to death.
Joe, you did such a great job. You answered every question. You knew all the.
you answered every question. That's
and
me
let
so
me
funny.
ask the crowd, what did Trump do?
Lie.
Yeah. So I mean, listen, that's politics, that's optics,
Yeah.
and which one's this one,
This
Rob?
is the cognitive decline.
Go
question.
for it.
Did you ever see signs that he was falling into cognitive decline?
No.
No,
Come on, man.
Like,
truly.
No.
I mean, people were saying he wasn't the same Joe Biden.
Well, I don't think that's true. He was the essence of the same Joe Biden, but yeah, he was slowing down. He was getting older. I mean, we all observed that. When you know, it's a very intense job.
Okay,
I
you
think
can
it
stop
ages
Rob,
you.
I'm going to come to you first. Go ahead.
shame on her. Like, and check the tapes. I've never used the phrase gaslighting. That's what it is. No, Adam, I swear to you guys, I'm 48 years old. This is the first time I'm actually saying it. Now I get that's what gaslighting is. Are you freaking kidding me? By the way, and that's the scariest part is we were screaming from the rooftop, but there was nothing that we could do. When he was being just coddled and you know, every time that there was questions, they would rush him off and they'd be like, you guys are crazy. You're being stupid. He's the greatest president. And given the stats, Gavin Newsom was one of those people. And I just think it's sad and it's disgusting. And at the same time, Joe Biden right now is suing the DOJ to stop the release of audio recordings from his interview with the special counsel, Robert Herpat, because they're arguing that those tapes are going to reveal how gone he was. But it's crazy to me that we're going to pretend still to this day, it's been 2 years, that he was okay and he was making the decisions. Remember, they interviewed all his doctors and everybody. They all pled the fifth. Was he all there? We plead the fifth. And a lot of people were saying that there was two people running the show. One was that guy, who was it, Tommy, the guy with the glasses?
A no-name guy.
A no-name guy.
A no-name guy, but he's a heavyweight.
And Jill Biden. They were saying... Jill Biden was pretty much going forward every single year, President of the United States, take the square, put it in the box, and you have to
justice, former President Joe Biden, to have his tapes that he did interviews on blocked from the American people hearing them? Do you think that he's trying to hide something? And maybe Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche could comment on if they will countersue and release those tapes to the American public.
Are you talking about it with respect to his book?
With respect to his
Well, I'd
memoirs.
like to see it. I don't know. Maybe there's some constitutional reason. I don't know. I would like to see what he has to say, because we can never allow what happened to this country to happen. The man was grossly incompetent, and the Democrats, I call them the Democrats because the policy is so bad, but they came very close to destroying our country. We can never let it happen again, and I hope that you're able to produce that. I think it would be very interesting reading for people.
Well, Biden was the last moderate that we've seen running for president or any part of the Democratic Party. We can go down a whole rabbit hole of how they've... He's like, what murder? What about all the crime? No, he's a great guy. Politics is just like the mafia. You have, by the way, even more power and more control. So don't forget, Jill Biden is a gangster.
Oh.
Jill Biden is a gangster. She was basically saying, I know my husband is basically weekend at Bernie's, weekend at Biden's. I'm going to get up there and do a whole spiel to keep power.
Of course.
Think about what kind of gangster that is, this woman is.
All of them.
So don't be fooled that she's an elementary school teacher and you answered all the questions. She's like, I'm living in the White House right now, and you think I'm going to give this up to this orange clown?
Hunter. Yeah.
I'm going to lie about everything.
Tom.
So I respect her hustle. Thank God he didn't win, though.
How about some receipts? Want some receipts?
I love those,
Let's play
Tom.
fun with receipts.
Yes.
The Biden administration presented the National Archives with a plan and a price tag for the Biden Presidential Library. It was $2. Hang on. They've still been trying to get injury attorneys. Well, hang on. Last fall, around Halloween, he asked for a refund of his $800,000, and he said, I don't think the library is ever going to get built unless it's an old school bookmobile. Because, you know, John is very sarcastic. And John, if you're listening, I'm trying to get your quote right, but that's what you said. And so this is where it is. So why is Hunter going out? Why is this book going out? They apparently have been using Hunter in the book on this like apology tour, and they've been reaching out to donors. So there's some of the receipts. They're also worried about, Pat, you always talk about it, legacy. And what is more legacy than a presidential library? And this is the first of the last 15 presidents. It doesn't look like he's going to have a library.
Not even close,
By the
according
way,
to the numbers, Tom. Great job.
And if they do, like, what are you going to do going to the library? What's in the library?
Sponsored by
cocaine.
Like, what will be in the library? I mean, look, if Hunter Biden's cocaine's there, I think that'll bring people.
Pat,
All you
that's
have
I think it's
guys go out. Rob, can you pull up how much money was raised for the last 6 presidents for their library. How much money was raised for the last 6 presidents for their library?
And Obama went back for a 33%
Massive.
overrun, and he got
Massive.
it. And he got it.
Massive. Massive if you think about how much Obama got. But I just want to know, the last few presidents, okay, look at Obama. $1.5 billion to build his library.
And if you look that up, it went into overrun.
$950 to $1 billion to put a place here. George Bush, by the way, it's a beautiful library for George Bush. Clinton, 20 years ago, 165. George H.W. Bush, 83 million. Reagan, 30 years ago, 100 million. Today, Biden, 4 million? What? But it tells you that 2020 election maybe was fake, and he wasn't a real president.
Weird.
For 4 years. Due to my health issues, I'm stepping down to spend more time with my family, yada, yada. But I have trained Kamala Harris or whoever it may be, a primary. People would have said, wow, you know what? Respect to you, Joe. And his legacy would have lived on forever. But because this guy had so much pride, ego, people in his ear, Jill Biden saying, you got this, Joe, run. His fate was sealed and his library was not built because of that debate performance, in my opinion.
Adam, was it possible he was so far gone that he couldn't make that determination and people just carried him along?
I'm not there. I'm not that far.
I'd like to move on. This is not that important. It's just something that happened. I mean, it's worth
just like
$4
his
million.
library.
Yeah, exactly. There's a big game coming up around the corner. I think 9 of them are going to be in Dallas. We were at a hotel yesterday. Everything was about the World Soccer Tournament that's coming out. Everybody's going to be watching, you know, Neymar, Messi. Yesterday they announced Messi's going into his 6th World Cup. Portugal. Mexico. By the way, that's Iran with the old flag.
Nice.
The Shahi flag of Mohammad Reza Shah Pahlavi. France.
Oui, oui.
Zidane.
And then we got a few other ones. Who is this? This is Colombia.
Colombia. Boom.
Brazil. These things look good. And Argentina.
You know people are dancing at home right now. In the car.
So remember, it's not a big supply. If you're watching this, you want to get the shirt combination. Of them. So first come, first serve. If somebody buys 50, it's literally going to say sold out. And then you have all the other countries and U.S. And then if you want to combine it with the shirts, Rob, if you want to go a little bit lower, It'll go to, click on the Argentina one, view all. Go all the way to the top, Rob. Right there, you have all of them together. Shirts, hats, go a little bit lower. So buy the hats with the shirts combined. Future looks bright. This is not going to last a long time. Represent your country while you're representing the future looks bright. If you enjoyed this video, you want to watch more videos like this, click here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click here. This next story is an interesting one, okay? Michael's biopic came out, Michael Jackson, and it just crossed $700 million. I think opening weekend at $217 million. They're thinking it's going to cross $1 billion. Michael comes up to Jafar and says, hey, you look like Michael. You're his nephew. I want you to play Michael. Jafar says, I'm not an actor. He says, what do you mean? You've never acted? He says, no, I golf. He's like, what are you talking? He says, no, I'm not an actor. I'm a golfer. I have his moves because it's my uncle, so I learned the moves, but I'm not an actor. He says, well, are you open to it? He says, not really. I'm not in acting. I've never taken any acting class. So Graham King says, would you be okay if I hire somebody that teaches you acting for the next 2 years and you learn how to act? He says, I'm open to it. Look how long-term thinking Graham King is.
Wow.
For 2 years, they spend time with him. Great. He eventually starts getting it down, and he stars in the movie. And by the way, I watched the movie. He crushed it. Same as Bohemian Rhapsody. Some of the people are like, well, the whole nasty part of, Freddie Mercury wasn't in it as much as it should have been. There was stuff in there.
Yeah.
And she's got a Hispanic name, beautiful girl. Him and this girl are together. They have 2 kids together, okay? But they never got married. They were together for 8 years. Her name is Alejandra, this girl right here. Alejandra Genevieve Oziaza, okay? Nice. So they're together for 2 years, and then guess what ends up happening? They have a breakup. Guess who she goes and marries and is with him for 8 years? Jermaine Jackson.
No way. They went to the brother?
The same girl had 2 kids with 2 Jacksons.
No way.
You guys didn't know the story.
That's an undercover brother.
2 kids with 2 Jacksons. So now, with Jermaine, she has a kid called Jafar Jackson. Jafar plays the role of Michael Jackson. And guess who's close with who? Janet Jackson and Randy are close, and Janet said, I don't want to have anything to do with this movie. You guys do everything you want to do, but we don't want to be in it. So you will never see Janet Jackson in the movie at all. Gotcha. You will only see some of the... Would Michael still have been around? Rob, I don't know if you can find that clip or not. He says, if I was in Michael's life, he would still be around. He would still be alive because I wouldn't have let those guys do what they did.
This is Joe.
This is Joe. Yeah, this is Joe. He says, I love my father, but This is the interesting part about what this guy did to drive the hell out of his kids. Maybe Rob, play this clip first. This clip is when Michael says, "I didn't know my father." I just send it to you if you want to play this clip. And remember, by the way, when it comes down to Michael was a phenomenal. Like, people say Drake has more #1 records now. He broke the record of Michael. There's a very different thing with the influence Michael had over Drake. Michael was like, the impact all over the world. Rob, if you pull this clip, watch as Michael talking about his dad, and then play the Michael's father clip. Go for it.
He also said, "I love my father, but I don't know him."
Kept on with instruments and rehearsed them too, to be entertainers.
And he did.
He should know me, but I don't know why he don't.
Kind of interesting, right? Now, play the other clip, Rob, on when he's asked about if Michael would have been around. Watch what he says here.
Let me ask you a question. If you were in Michael's life, would he still be alive today?
Of course. Of course. I had told some people, some friends, that if I don't get to Michael, he ain't gonna be here long. I said that. He won't be with us long. And I called the shot to the T. That's exactly what had happened. I just didn't like to see him. Matter of fact, I wouldn't go and see him land up in the casket because I didn't want to remember him.
Started talking about some heavy stuff. Yeah. History books are false. The history they teach you in school is nothing but lies. Okay. I mean, I have to escape the system that controls the world. They want to kill me for my catalog. One day the truth will come out. I reported them, so they falsely accuse me. They want to kill me, and they will say I died because of an overdose. He said that.
I remember.
He said that.
Yep.
Okay. And then what ends up happening? So this is why, look, if you're a Michael fan, or if you like musical biopics, this is actually a very, very good movie. We want to watch it. Tico gave it a 9.5. He's like, this is a very, very good movie. It's tragic what happens when you make it at that level, and there's typically a guy like him. Remember the story of Serena and Venus Williams? What they called the movie? What they call me Richard?
Yeah,
I don't know what it was called.
King Richard.
King Richard. Yeah,
King Will
Richard.
Smith played him, and then he smacked Chris Rock.
How do you process it when you see what the father had to say about Michael?
In pain and wanted love from his father. And then when people are like, oh, he was hanging out with little kids. Yeah, he missed that entire childhood. While you were outside and playing with little Johnny and Timmy and Sarah, Michael Jackson was in a freaking house practicing and getting his butt whooped when he wasn't doing it right or when he was failing at it. And then you got the greatest artist.
Did you see the movie?
I didn't see it.
You would love the movie.
I'm going to have to
I'll
watch.
go watch it again with
Okay.
you. You would love the movie. It's that good of a movie.
Tico wanted me to watch it.
No,
but
it's a very, very good movie.
But and it's such a and that's the question. Do you give Michael Jackson, and the question is, God rest his soul, would you ask Michael, hey, Michael, if we went back in time, would you want your dad to have just left you alone and you'd have just done whatever you want and you would have picked your own thing? Because it seems like, Joe was very, very hard on him and said, look, this is what you're going to do. These are the hours you're going to put in and you're going to perfect it. So it's just.
Do you think he died or they killed him?
I mean, Conrad Murray is the one that gave him that last whatever medication or anything like that, Pat. But I was following. Thing that he was doing where he was even saying, if we don't get this right and I'm going to expose stuff, this is it. This is it. He was saying it. Pat, he almost knew that they were going to do it. So I would say with the evil powers that run this world, Pat, especially with buying Sony, and he was saying Tommy Mottola was the devil and all that stuff, it wouldn't put it past me that they did something to kill him, to shut him up.
He said something. He says, at 5 years old, 100 million people were watching me.
Wow.
At 5 years old, I had the precious. I don't know what it is to be a kid. I never had the opportunity to become a kid. Never. So this is the clip, Rob, if you want to play this. And then, Tom, I'm going to come to you because, Tom was at the entire thing ends at the Victory Tour. And Tom worked the Victory Tour, just so you know.
You mean this is it? Or the Victory
This
Tour?
is the tour. Tom watched Michael Jackson perform. Did you say 6 days?
7. It was 7 days at Dodger Stadium.
What do you mean you worked the Victory
He
Tour?
worked at the Dodger Stadium.
We did, but we saw all 7 concerts. It was amazing.
Yeah.
Good move.
Do you have that clip?
Yep.
This is it. Watch this. Go ahead.
I don't read all the things written about me. I wasn't aware that the world thought I was so weird and bizarre. But when you grow up, as I did, in front of 100 million people since the age of 5, you're automatically different. My childhood was completely taken away from me. There was no Christmas. There was no birthdays. Those were exchanged for hard work, struggle, and pain, and eventual material and professional success. But as an awful price, I cannot recreate that part of my life. And that's why I love children and learn so much from being around them. I realize that many of our world's problems today, from the inner city crime to large-scale wars and terrorism, and our overcrowded prisons,
You can pause it right there. There's something very special about him. You know,
assistant producer Jaden, he's there with me, and me and Brandon, he's giving me a fade, this guy Brandon, and he's like, how old are you? You know, he's like, oh, I just graduated UM, I'm 22. Man, you're just a little jitterbug is what he called him. And Michael Jackson comes on, and I'm getting my hair cut, and I go, I'm talking to the man in that song right there. I love that song. And then he says, yeah, well, I think Prince was better. And me and Brandon, who's like my age, go, what did you just say? You think Prince is better than Michael Jackson? Yeah, you know, party like it's 1999, little red Corvette. I said, listen, do me a favor. I need you to understand something. You're a little young jitterbug. There's a difference between an icon. There's a difference between a Prince, or some may say a Madonna, some might say a Beyonce. You could even say a Justin Bieber. When you're talking about a phenomenon that the world has never seen, that's Michael Jackson. That's who he is.
Whatever belt that was, which I had on.
Favorite Michael Jackson song. There's no just one.
You know what I would do, Pat? Because I was so in awe of Michael Jackson, and anybody at home could do this. Go to fans reacting to Michael. There's people like girls like out in public, Pat, crying and fainting. Yeah. And the best ever, and Pat, I have the DVD at my house because I saved it. It's Michael Jackson live at Bucharest Dangerous Tour. You hear the lion. I got goosebumps. The lion, look at my goosebumps. The lion roar. He shoots through the stage, stands there, glasses, gold G-string outside of his pants, and for 2.5 minutes, he's standing like that. 10 people, look at this, pass out, and look, this is it. He doesn't talk. Yeah, they don't do the music, Pat.
They'll never be anything like this
10
again.
10 people, men, women, faint. Watch, does he move his head? Watch, when he moves it. He's wearing a gold G-string outside of his pants.
Don't worry about that,
People were literally, guys, imagine paying for the concert. It hasn't started. You've already fainted. Yeah, look at this.
Musical it's worth watching.
Gotcha. And number one was what again?
Bohemian Rhapsody, which is also good.
For now, he didn't beat it.
No, he didn't beat it. Today. There's a big game coming up around the corner. I think 9 of them are going to be in Dallas. We were at a hotel yesterday. Everything was about the World Soccer tournament that's coming out there. Yes. Everybody's going to be watching, you know, Neymar, Messi. Yesterday they announced Messi's going into a 6th World Cup. I don't know if you saw that. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be a big tournament that they're having. And so while you're going through that, depending on the countries you're from, we have some special gear that is limited. There's not a big supply of them. And we chose the countries based on who watches the content the most. And it has the Future Looks Bright with the country's flag. So having said that, watch this video, and then I'll tell you what Future Looks Bright gear we have here for you. Go ahead, Rob. This is Colombia.
Colombia. Boom. Brazil.
These things look good. And Argentina.
You know people are dancing at home right now. In the car.
So remember, it's not a big supply. if you're watching this, you want to get the shirt combination. This is the U.S. hat that we have with the U.S. flag on the lid, with the soccer ball inside of it. These things look absolutely insane. And by the way, we didn't get a big supply of them. Some of them, it's only 50. Like the Iran one that we have with the Shahanshah flag on the bottom of it, it's only 50. So if some of you guys are going to the game and you kind of want to wear the hat, because they're saying you cannot wear the hat, Vinny, I don't know if I gave it to you or not.
No, I don't have that.
Do you have the Iran hat?
One more. I think it's the one
Is it
more
this
green.
one here? I don't know which one it is. One of these guys that we have here. It looks ridiculous, the way it... Enjoy this video. You want to watch more videos like this, click here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click here.